Were you expecting another bedroom scene, perhaps? You fool! It was me, TCGWolf! Okay, I'm not even gonna try and make the fucking Dio yell. I'm too hoarse on my throat for that. Regardless, welcome back to Sealed Only Sunday for the final episode before the second coming of the Dragoon Cup. In this episode, we don't have any store to go to, we don't have a Lupin Weekly to attend. Instead, we're going to be having a look at the contenders for what we're actually bringing to the Dragoon Cup. I have gone through the entire collection. I have gone through all of our available wildcards, which you will see down below the decks currently, which is what we have to play with to improve the decks to the point where we feel they're usable. It's not much, but it is something. It should also be noted that our start ships, the few that we have remaining, which is 3 of them, can be used as a wildcard for any card in the game. They are essentially super wildcards. We can essentially get 3 of any card in the game to add to our collection should we wish. Before we go on though, keep in mind that this year's Dragoon Cup has some special rules to it. More specifically, we need to enter the Dragoon Cup with 3 separate decks. In doing so, we also need to make sure that we're following the ban list, but instead of 1 deck, we do so with 3. So as an example, if we in deck number 1 have 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, we can have no Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring in any of the other decks. Similarly, there is no sideboarding for this tournament. Instead, we swap decks entirely until every single deck has won a game, winning us the match and advancing us in the tournament. This is why we currently have 6 decks on show today, because we need to decide which 3 we're going with. Our collection has been up and down. It's not entirely great. We have a couple of decks that are so close to being complete and to their ultimate form, if you will, but we're just not there yet. We're missing quite a bit. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go over each one of these decks, what I expect they're going to be able to do, and we're going to give them all 3 duels against random opponents on Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega. We're going to test the waters with people who have never seen them before. Let's start with deck number 1, shall we, which is, as you guessed it, Scrap Orcist. Scrap Orcist has been the most reliable deck we've ever had, as what it does very well, but it still loses to a lot of interaction. For this reason, I have decided to splash in the Machinas. Yes, the ones we started with back in episode 1 that I abandoned by episode 5 have made a return. The reason for this is Machina Ruin Force. Now, Orcist locks us into Dark Machine monsters when we use their graveyard effects, and would you just happen to know, Machina Ruin Force is a Dark Machine. It is also searchable off of Machina Redeployment, meaning if we search both Ruin Force and Fortress, we can use Fortress to pitch Ruin Force, getting a Fortress on field for free, summoning Ruin Force off of the scraps of Orcist cards we have in the graveyard to hopefully land us an OTK. It's about as good as we're gonna get for this, I believe. Then, in accompanying this, we're also playing a Citadel, because it is one of the best Machina cards, and it could prove useful. We're playing the Gizmek Orochi, because I do have one of these, and we may as well. The 2 World Legacy World Wand. The 2 Orcist Nightmare. The 2 Scrap Golem, which is basically our entire scrap deck, I suppose. 1 Crystron Rosenix. Rosenix is used by Scrap Recycler to get a token onto the field to start a combo. 2 Gears to the Orcist Mech Knight, because I noticed that we have a lot of starters we're missing in the deck, and a few more Orcist names didn't hurt. 1 Celestial and 1 Dasher as targets for DPE. 3 Scrap Raptor, as it is our best starter in the deck. 2 Orcist Symbol Skeleton, and then Recycler, which facilitates the entire combo. We are then running 2 Crossout Designators with the target of Ash Blossom, Nibiru. That's basically it, I suppose. They're the only ones we're really terrified of getting hit by, and we've saved our Infinite Impermanences for other decks. Then we have 2 Twin Sisters, 1 Babel, 1 World Legacy Succession, which we need for the Lib in our extra deck, 2 Machina Redeployment, 1 Fusion Destiny, 3 Fossil Dig, which for some reason searches Scrap Raptor, 1 Machina Overdrive, and 1 Orcist Crescendo to make up the main deck. In the extra deck, we're running the aforementioned DPE, as it is a very good combo ender for this deck. 2 Dingirsu, being Orcist. 1 Boros Sword, 1 Appaloosa, 1 Long Gearsu, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, our Lib the World Key Blade Master that for some reason still has the banned icon, but I did use a wildcard to get one of these, so I don't care. Nightmare Phoenix, 2 Galatea, 1 Scrap Wyvern, 1 Barricade Borg Blocker, 1 IP Masquerena, and 1 Predaplant Verte Anaconda. The main thing about this deck is we want to set up a lot. We will need to make one change for this deck to be as good as I want it to be, and that is removing Nightmare Phoenix and spending one of our wildcards to add Avramax. Avramax is a card I was looking for the entire series, but for some reason never got my hands on, and I opened a lot of packs where Avramax was available. Avramax just gives us a really good IP Masquerena Verte Anaconda play because we can combine them into Avramax, giving us a nearly unkillable Bungus. In addition to that, of course, we have DP and everything else, but this is deck number 1 that we're going to be playing 3 games with right now until we get to the next one. So let's see how this deck... I am the Joey! Let's see how this deck be doing, man! Now I'm a troll from World of Warcraft. What is happening today? Alright, we're just going to be doing a bunch of best for ones today because that is the easiest way to do things. And our starting hand is the worst it can possibly be playing this deck. A massive brick. This is the main problem with the Orcist deck, because even though we're playing 12 starters, not opening one of them kills us almost immediately. We're going to have to hope that our opponent really doesn't have anything, and he has Alistair. Well, we have to Ash it. And now we just pray he's not a good Invoked player. He is apparently not a very good Invoked player, because it appears that he has also Bricked, probably. We are going to trigger Gizmek here. We have to try it, even though we're banishing a lot of our starters, but not everything, so it's kind of fine. We do get to keep our Gizmek here, and we draw the starter. Who would have guessed? Turn 2, we draw into the Fossil Dig, which we're going to attempt to pop off here. It is going to fetch us the Scrap Raptor. We're going to go for the Scrap Raptor. Of course, normal summoning the Scrap Raptor in order to activate the Scrap Raptor effect. If he will allow me, we will Scrap Raptor, targeting Scrap Raptor. He's having a think about it, though. It is getting impermanenced. I kind of expected that to happen, to be honest, because this is a very, very good card. We're going to go for the Verte Anaconda here. And then we're going to activate Succession, I think, which is really funny. Does he have another infinite impermanence for this? Because if he does, we may just be fucked. Alright, he's not doing anything here. Our plan now, and this is very stupid. Did I banish the target? I did not. Do I want to dare to try and banish the target? Because I probably will. No, we're gonna go for the Succession. We are going to bring back the Gizmek. Just for the extra damage at this point, because why not? We may as well have a target on board in case this gets negated. Then we can at the very least try and go into something else. We're getting super polyed! It is Shaddoll invoked. I should have probably guessed that. Alright, he's going for that, which is unfortunate now, because that means we have to trigger our Gizmek by itself, and that just doesn't do anything for us right now, so we just have to pass again. It's better to pass on an empty board against Shaddoll, because we may as well, right? Getting super polyed here kind of sucks, but Venom Fusion Dragon doesn't really hurt us that badly. It's just a little bit annoying. And Nadir, that probably does kill us, though. Yeah, with a brick like this, I'm surprised we managed to play through even a turn, to be perfectly honest. But now he's just going to bring out this. That's going to set up a trap card we can't deal with. Yeah, it is looking real bad now. What gets us out of this? I mean, he has a negate as well, because he pitched the Titaniclad. Man, that sucks. A Machina redeployment actually saves us here, because we can pitch the Citadel to grab Ruin Force and... Oh no, we banished that, didn't we? Oh, we banished the Fortress. Damn, that's real bad. Okay, with Maximus, that basically seals the deal, I think, because there's nothing here we can pitch that does anything remotely useful for us. We can't get a skeleton into the graveyard somehow to trigger that, so, I do believe we can scoop this one up, folks. It is not looking like we're getting where we not want to go. We'll do that, just to have them in the graveyard. But I think he just brings out Fleur-de-Lis. Oh, no, he doesn't have Fleur-de-Lis yet. He only has Maximus, but I don't think that matters. That's the punishment. I don't think no matter what we draw here, I don't think we come out of this one. Unfortunate. Big bops. We're not even gonna summon it back. Oh, we did draw the re-employment. Oh no. That's super unfortunate, because all we have is Ruin Force and freaking Overdrive, and that doesn't do it for us. Man, that sucks. All we have is we needed to find the correct one there. Because then we could have gone into Ruin Force, and we could have probably won this one, actually. Because we could have negated this effect, lower his half points by half. Yeah, that's super unfortunate. We'll just go over the Ecclesia. Yeah, we already know it's getting punishment. It's fine. That kills the Gizmek, and unfortunately, it is not an Earth machine, so it does not trigger Citadel. And that is game 1. Unfortunate, but that was the brickiest hand we could have gotten. Game 2. Let's see if this is the third person that scoops immediately upon me entering the game. Apparently not. Let's activate Fossil Dig. Fossil Dig searches me Scrap Raptor. We summon Raptor. We actually have a recovery option here as well, which is insane. Let's destroy Raptor. Activate Scrap Raptor, searching us a Scrap Recycler. Scrap Recycler will then be normal summon with our extra normal summon from Scrap Raptor. Activate Scrap Recycler. We're going to send Crystron Rosenix. In this particular instance, we have to destroy our Overdrive, which kind of sucks, but I think it's for the best. Let's summon a token. We're gonna go for the Scrap Wyvern. Activating the Scrap Wyvern, summoning back our Recycler, or whatever at this point, doesn't matter. We're gonna destroy it. We're gonna activate Wyvern. Summoning the Golem. Then destroying our back row, which is Overdrive, which is just whatever at this point. Gonna go for the Golem, summoning back the Scrap Recycler to our side of the field, which activates Scrap Recycler, which sends the World Legacy World Wand, meaning we can now go into Lib, the World Key Blade Master, and because we have a World Legacy card in our graveyard, we can activate her effect to search us World Legacy Succession. Now that that's set, we can link off our Scrap Wyvern and Lib into Apollousa, with 2 negates unfortunately, but it is the best we got. We can then activate Succession, which brings back our Scrap Golem, which, guess what, is not a hard once return. We can scrap Golem for Scrap Recycler yet again, which this time is going to send the Orcist Nightmare. We're then going to activate Orcist Nightmare, targeting just about anything here, it will not matter, to send a Skeleton. Then we can activate the World Wand, which brings back the Orcist Nightmare. Nightmare is now on board and ready for action. We're now going to bring up the Galatea. With Galatea now on the board, we can activate Galatea's effect to shuffle back the World Wand into the deck in order to set ourselves Babel. Babel, of course, makes all of our Orcist effects quick effects, regardless of in their graveyard or wherever they are. We don't care. But then I'm going to activate Skeleton. We're going to summon back our Orcist Nightmare, because that's something we can do. Insanity. Then we are going to simply put, make ourselves a Dingirsu. We are going to activate the effect of Dingirsu, setting ourselves attaching the symbol Skeleton is what I wanted to say. Unfortunately now we can't special summon anything that isn't dark, which is kind of unfortunate. But it is the best we can still do here, so we are just going to do this. We're going to drop ourselves a Verte Anaconda on field. We're going to activate Verte Anaconda to copy a fusion spell, do Fusion Destiny. And with 3 cards left in hand, this is our full combo. We now have Protection, Negates, and Destruction ready for use. There's also the alternative version where we can summon 1 more card through something like Fortress or any like Monster Reborn effect, where we can end on the setup for a an Avramex as well. Unfortunately, not the time this time. We are looking at Kepler. Kepler is annoying because I kind of want to negate this. And then in response to that, we are going to Nightmare, targeting Apollousa, sending a World Wand, giving her 1 extra negate this turn. Kepler is one of the best normal summons they have because it literally searches half their deck. They're going to go for a Where Art Thou, meaning they are most likely going to search themselves, not Kepler, like Swirl Slime, I'm guessing. I think they can summon Swirl Slime off of Art Thou, right? I think so, at least. I don't remember what... I think Swirl Slime is a level 1, right? I haven't played DDs in a while, and I should probably look them up. There's Necro Slime, the other one, yeah. So it's not Swirl, it's the other one, because this one lets them search and do their shenanigans. Alright, they're going for Chaos King Apocalypse. Alright. I see. Scaling a 4. Do they have a second scale? Indeedies. That would be scary. in this particular matchup, at least. We do still have 2 negates on Apollosa. We have 1 destruction with DPE. And we have destruction prevention with our big boy. No, that is not going to be able to break the board. I'm somehow not shocked. I kind of know the weaknesses of DDs. That's really good, actually. I think that shows just how easy the combo is to set up for this deck, but how fragile it is to things like Nibiru. We'll go for a last game with this, and then we'll see what we think. Alright, we've won the rock, paper, scissors every time here, which obviously is not going to be the case for most of this area here. Unfortunately, we have yet again opened Incredicrap. Really, really, really unfortunate, but we're just going to do it anyway. We're going to pitch these 2, and we're going to summon ourselves the Machina Fortress. And we're just going to set ourselves Machina Overdrive, and then unfortunately do nothing. This is not a good hand. We do, luckily, have the Machina Overdrive, which can summon us a Citadel, at the very least. We're going up against the new Punk archetype, and I hate these things because I'm too lazy to read them. Basically, they add a bunch of, like, trap cards and stuff by the cost of life points, and then they do link climbing and shit, I think. Target effect monster negate its effects until the end of this turn, then if you control Punk monster, gain life points equal to the targeted monster's original attack. Jakori Punk. Yeah, and they're Psychic Tracker, meaning they are just off to the races. Ready Fusion. Okay. I think at this point, we're just gonna do this. Summon out Citadel. They're going for the man-eating black shark, which is just a level 5. We're just gonna fire it here to clear his board. Because if you have... I'm 3 for 1-ing, or 3 for 2-ing, I guess. Or 3 for 3-ing, even, depending on how you look at it. But considering I have a very easy time getting machine monsters back, I don't think that matters too much. We kind of just want to set him back. But it doesn't matter, he has the monster reborn. Oof. He's gonna reborn my Citadel. Okay, well, I guess I'm fucked now. He actually reborns the Citadel. Yo, that is a, not a good thing. That is going to screw us up massively. Because how on earth are we getting out of this one? I can tell you, Nightmare is not how we do it. That's super unfortunate. We literally can't out our own machine. I did not expect to see 3 pieces of extension, plus 2 traps, plus monster reborn. That's really unfortunate. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, we can basically scoop it up here. They are going to summon Ogre Dance, and they're going to bring out the, whatever the other name is. I never remember Punks. I shouldn't really remember them. They haven't been released yet. They are currently in OCG. We're not going to have to deal with this archetype, obviously, when we're playing, but... Man, I think this goes for a good showing of just what happens to this deck when it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. So now having a look at our Scrap Machine Orcists, what are the issues? Bricking. A lot. The unfortunate part about this deck is that it runs so many cards that potentially brick you, it has to run multiple cards that also situationally unbrick you. It's kind of the major issue with this is if you actually open one of your 12 ways of starting the game, you usually end up fairly well with an end board that a few decks currently can contest. In the hands that you don't, however, you end up with cards like World Wand, Orcus Nightmare, and your Scrap Golems in your hand that just don't do anything. The deck is good, but situationally good. If you brick, we can guarantee that we're losing that game, and we're going to have to try again and again until we unbrick, which might just cost us to tourney. We're going to have to take that into consideration when we look at the second deck, Eldlich Dogmatica. Yeah. I did manage to pick up a lot of Dogmatica pieces, especially the 2 Nadir Servants that we picked up just last episode. I decided to throw together a weird little list with both Eldlich and Dogmatica together. The thing with this one is, it's actually surprisingly consistent, but it's very, very bad going second, just like most, both Eldlich and Dogmatica decks tend to be. For the deck, we are running 2 Eldlich the Golden Lord, 1 Fleur-de-Lis, 1 Ashayan, 1 Maximus, and 3 Ecclesia the Virtuous. For our hand traps, we're choosing to run ourselves Psyframe Gear Gamma, as well as Psyframe Driver. And then we are not really... Oh, we're running Infinite Impermanence too, I guess. I guess we can count that as a hand trap these days. Then we are also running an Eldlich of Black Awakening, 2 Nadir Servant, 1 Pot of Prosperity, 1 Eldlich of White Destiny, 3 Cursed Outland, 2 Punishment, 2 Elixir, 3 Torrential Tribute, 2 Hakero, the 1 Conquistador we own, 3 Summon Limit, 1 Golden Land Forever, 2 Solemn Judgment, and 2 Solemn Strike. There is only one change I would like to do to the main deck of this deck to consider it complete, and that is removing the Golden Land Forever and cheating our way into a new I can't spell Conquistador. Just writing Conk. But... What? Oh, I'm stupid. A Conquistador. This is the only real change I would like to do for the main deck of this deck to consider it to be more viable than what it was. Conquistador is the best card in the deck, hands down, and we want to run as many of them as possible, but we still don't want to waste a lot of our very few resources on a deck that has most of its pieces. Extra deck-wise, we have the 1 Titaniclad, our 2 Elder Entity Entices we've picked up, 1 Zeus, the entire giant machine package, because we do have 2 Eldliches, and if we do somehow get them both out at the same time, which can happen, these cards actually do a lot to end the game. We're running 2 Gustav Maxes, which just burn our opponent for 2,000 damage, 1 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Super Dora, which is a 4,000 defense monster that can make itself unaffected by card effects except its own, and 1 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut Lieb, which becomes a 6,000 beat stick that punches face. On top of that, we're also running a Galaxy Ice Tachyon Dragon. We're never going to summon this, but it's available. We have 1 Dingirsu. We're probably never going to summon this one either, but the Dogmatica monsters can summon it. Similarly, Galaxy Ice Photon Lord can also be summoned by the Dogmatica cards, should we need to. Then we're running a Redoer, a Terribly Tired Tapir, an Exciting Knight, and an Abyss Dweller. We're generally never going to go into those. They're mostly just there so we can hit something off of Pot of Prosperity. This deck wants to go first, set up its board, and then grind the opponent down to dust. Let's give this one 3 games and see just how well it manages to do that. Alright then, Home Gamer Central, show me what you got. We do manage to get to go first again, winning yet another one. We're going to go for the Pot of Prosperity here starting off. We're just going to banish 3, I think. We're going to go for the cards that we are never going to summon, which is probably Redoer, Abyss Dweller, and Tachyon. Finding off at the top, not much, to be honest. Kind of disappointed there. We're instead just going to go for the Nadir Servant, which is going to pitch the Titaniclad, searching us an Ecclesia. Going to normal summon the Ecclesia, activating the effect of the Ecclesia, bringing to our hand a punishment. Then we're going to set 3 cards. We're going to set Summon Limit, Punishment, and Strike, keeping Torrential Tribute in our hand just in case we need to. We're going to activate Titaniclad in the end phase to search us Fleur-de-Lis, and now we also have a Negate available. So we have a Negate, a Summon Limit, and a Punishment. So we have plenty of interaction. Unless he Harpy Feathers Dusters us and we die. But then we also have another Negate in Gamma in case our Ecclesia is somehow dealt with. So it's looking okay? Question mark? We don't have a way into Eldlich yet, though, which is kind of bad, but then again, I don't think it matters. We're looking at Super Soldier. I think Super Soldier is fine, because when he summons whatever he's summoning here, we are going to hit it with Summon Limit, stopping him from summoning anything else for the turn. He's going for the Stratos, which I'm assuming he's going to actually destroy spell and trap cards. We need to strike that, because we need to save ourselves as much as possible. He's going to go for Fusion Destiny. We are going to hit the Summon Limit, which makes the Fusion Destiny fizzle. He is not summoning another card on our watch. He is going to go to end phase here, which is fine by me. We draw an Impermanence for turn. Not terrible. I kind of want to keep my Negate available from Ecclesia, if I'm going to be honest. So I'm just going to go over the Solid Soldier here. Alright, hero player under Summon Limit is usually a very good sign. He also fired off one of his Fusion Destinies, which is very nice. He has another Solid Soldier. I kind of want to negate that, but at the same time I don't think I care enough, because we can just Punishment. He's bringing out the Liquid Soldier. But that is your 2 summons for the turn, sir. You are still under Summon Limit. Which means he just does that and passes. That is super strange. Well, we do have the Conquistador. So we're just going to set the Conquistador now and just go over the Solid Soldier, I guess. Deal another 200. We're saving the negate as long as we can. Currently, we're under no pressure to do anything, so we can kind of just sit on it, to be honest. We can also get rid of DPE now. Oh, there is a Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is kind of bad. But it needs to be special summoned to search its card. Which I don't think the man read. Or he's going into... Oh, Wonder Driver. Okay, he's going to go for the add a hero monster here. I think that's fine. That is a 1900 though, which is a little bit scary. I think he's just going to do this to go over me. Most likely. There's a Ferris. Ferris is also really good here, but he is unable to really do it under summon limit, I don't think. Because the combo is so much summoning in hero. Okay, he is going to go into battle here. Ecclesia, of course, cannot be destroyed by anything from the extra deck, so he just doesn't choose to fight, which I can see why. We draw into the Hakero as well, which I don't really care about. We are going to go for the Fleur-de-Lis play here, because now we can start pushing for damage. We're just going to negate the Wonder Driver, and we're just going to go straight into battle and punching over the Wonder Driver, triggering the... triggering... Oh my god, my voice. Triggering the Fleur-de-Lis to punch over the Wonder Driver, which of course is going to trigger the Wonder Driver if he wishes here, which lets him special summon a hero from his hand. He is going to go for it, most likely grabbing Ferris, I'm guessing. He is going to go for Ferris. He is going to activate the Ferris effect, which is going to set increase to him, but we are just going to punch over the Ferris here. It is going to leave Ferris, of course, but we're just going to pass turn on that. We're waiting for anything that can draw us into an Eldlich here. Which basically spells the end of the game. Going for the Vion. Send a hero monster from deck to grave. I guess that's fine. Again, we have to be very careful with our limited negates here. He's going to trigger the increase, getting rid of him, which is fine. This is summon 2, meaning he's now locked out of summons again. Sending another Ferris to the graveyard. That is fine. He really, really likes putting himself in bad situations here, because at this point, you are looking bleak, sir. I don't think he really understands how Summon Limit kind of destroys his deck, to be honest. Because we can play under Summon Limit just fine. We rarely summon more than once. But Hero wants to summon like 14 times in their combo, which is why they also hate Nibiru. It's a bit interesting of a matchup. It's just very slow. I think at this point he's kind of realized that he doesn't have a way out of this. Yep, that is exactly what happened. He decided to just lose connection and literally rage quit. Let's take another game. Alright, managing to get ourselves first yet again, and the hand is looking almost identical to what it was before. We'll fire the Nadir Servant. We have no other play. We're going to get ashed perfectly fine by us. We are just going to set 3 pass. Your go, Buckaroon. We're keeping the Hakero in hand here because we don't really need it for anything. Summoning it doesn't exactly do us much when we have 3 already. Hitting the Foolish Burial here. I'm going to move the card there as well so you guys can see it a little bit better. Hitting the Foolish Burial. I am a bit worried, but it could be a lot of things here. He has a mutant profile picture, so he might as well just be playing mutants. What do I know? For mutants, though, we have a lot to deal with problematic cards, I feel. Today should also be Balance Day. No, it's Mayakashi. Okay. Daki. Sure. Activating... yeah, annoying. Sure. We'll let him do it. Bringing up the Ice Mayakashi, which will summon itself, so he's probably going into the Link 2, I would assume. And then I think we just strike the Link 2. Or he goes into the 3 Synchro, whatever the name of it is. It's not the Wagon, it's the other one. Sending the Doom King Baladrock is very interesting here, because that means he is indeed playing Zombie World. We can still deal with Zombie World here with, like, no issue whatsoever, essentially. Okay, he is going into the Wicked Wheel Mayakashi. We're going to hit that with the strike. Alright. We draw an Ashiyan. Ooh. Ashiyan here is actually decent. We're going to hit the punishment here, getting rid of the Doom King Baladrock. Because we opened it. The reason we're doing this is we're going to drop the Entis here to get rid of Zombie World as well, because he has no way of currently getting the Zombie World back. He also can't negate the Doom King Baladrock here, because that's how that works. Oh, right, it has 2800s. We can't actually do Entis. We have to drop something else. That's unfortunate. We'll just drop the Tachyon Dragon. We'll activate Ashiyan from hand, because we can do that now. We unfortunately only drew into Ashiyan, which sucks, because, yeah, Entis has 2500 attacks, so we can't do that. That complicates things. We're getting hit by a Rivalry of Warlords, so we can only control one type of monster, so I guess Ashiyan is the only thing we're getting here. We can do Ashiyan's effect to add punishment back, meaning we can punishment again, which is really nice. We don't really care about the Rivalry lock here, we're just gonna go over it. Getting 2000 damage in, and then passing turn. We have an Imperm, we have punishment back again thanks to Ashiyan. Doom King Baladrock, of course, is returning, which is annoying, but what can we do? He's gonna go for Mayakashi Return. That's annoying. We can't really stop him from doing Mayakashi Return either, which is unfortunate. Adding Hajun. Ooh. Yeah, that is really bad. Hajun does allow us to get rid of Zombie World, though. Okay, we're gonna go for the Dogmatica punishment in response here. We're gonna target the Hajun. This time we actually do get to pitch the Entis. And we'll trigger Entis, getting rid of the Zombie World. Now he's probably gonna Baladrock us here. We are going to Infinite Impermanence the Baladrock. That Zombie World is going bye-bye, and you can't stop me. This gets rid of the issue, at least, because now he, too, is locked into Rivalry, but to me, that doesn't necessarily matter that much. He's just gonna end on that. That's really weird, because if he did it correctly there, he would have actually gotten rid of most of what the problem was. But we will just go over the Baladrock again. He doesn't have a field spell, so... Oh yeah, it doesn't work, because he has more defense than we do. Shit. I don't really want to get rid of Yuki Misume either, because he's just gonna trigger it from the graveyard, and that means he gets the Doom King Baladrock effect, so I'm avoiding killing this on purpose, in case you're wondering. Because I am legitimately scared that he draws another Mayakashi that can bring this back, which will immediately trigger Baladrock, and he had the 1-for-1 anyway. Ugh. Well, shit. That's unfortunate. He goes for the glow-up blue, meaning he can go into Halki Fibrax to do all of that play. That's unfortunate. I really, really thought we could get out of that one by doing that. If Ashiyan was any other one, man. Now we just have to stare down Baladrock. I mean, the thing is, Eldlich here, if we draw any spell trap, it doesn't really work, because this is a zombie. Never mind, he just negates it. Okay, he makes Yoko. That's really interesting. I have not seen Yoko in a long time. Is he going for the big one? Like, the big one. There's the Eldlich, which I was kind of expecting. Graceful Mayakashi, okay. Now he can make Train again, or he can make the big one. He is making, what's it called? This Gashakoro. Alright. If this card is special summon from the graveyard, you can activate the effect. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. He also makes the Train. And that's just gonna get Daki back again, which means he can keep Climb Beam, because this is what Mayakashi does. It just does this over and over again. There's Sugigocho, and Daki comes back, making the 7 as well, because hey now, you're an all-star. There's Tengu, and then he comes back again, and then he makes a second Gashakoro. Oh no, he has to make the Yoko first. Yoko, and then it gets back again. And this time he does trigger the last one as well, which is Yuki Misume. This is kind of what I was afraid would happen, because now he goes Mizuki, and then he just keeps going from that. He brings back the whatever the face is. Oh, Baladrock comes back even. Okay, interesting. Why would you summon that at defense position, though? You had the OTK here if you did it correctly. Alright, going for the Yuki Onna. I don't think we have a way out of this one anymore. The fact that we had to deal with Baladrock this often just kind of sucked. He's gonna go for it. We'll go for the Ashiyan effect. It's not gonna matter. We're just gonna take slightly less damage. I think we're gonna aim to protect ourselves here. Unfortunately, we don't have an Eldlich in play, but that does let us protect ourselves. meaning we're only going to take the damage from these. Unfortunately, I don't think we have a way of actually getting over anything here, even with Eldlich, because we now don't have enough stuff. Eldland is good. Unfortunately, this sends to a graveyard, which is... this is the worst, man. We're going to go for it. We're going to Eldland. We're going to activate Eldland and take the 800. Get the Conquistador. Go for the activation here, getting rid of Gashakura, which is definitely getting negated. Yeah, and now he's going to banish it if he's smart. He is. Okay. That is really unfortunate because we don't have another play off of this. Unfortunate. We didn't get to resolve the things we needed, but that is the way of a trap deck. If we get out-controlled by something that draws a little bit better than us, it's gonna suck. Let's give him one more game. Wow, for the first time this time, I don't think we actually won our rock, paper, scissors, but we were forced to go first anyway. I have a lot of questions on that one, but we don't care. Go Cursed Eldland. Activate Cursed Eldland. Let's see what he does. He does Ash this, which is perfect, because then we can just fire Nadir Servant like we wanted to. Let's throw Titaniclad. Let's get ourselves the Ecclesia. We are going to normal summon the Ecclesia. Who would have guessed? Activating Ecclesia effect, searching us the punishment. Then we're going to set Torrential Tribute. We're going to set Punishment. We're going to pass turn. On that, we activate Titaniclad, grabbing ourselves the Fleur-de-Lis. And now we have a Negate, a Blow Up, and a Kaboom. Let's see what Aura Knife decides to do against this one. Set 1. Okay. Okay. Activating Dark Magical Circle is very interesting because that tells me straight away he's playing Dark Magician. Eternal Soul is a really bad card to be playing here, bucko. Alright, that's most likely the Eternal Soul. Meaning if he does not actually summon anything here, he goes for the Instant Fusion. Going for the 1000 Ice Restrict. Okay. I'm assuming he's going to activate this. We're just going to chain the Fleur-de-Lis. Fleur-de-Lis is, of course, going to negate the 1000 Ice Restrict. Meaning we keep our monster on board. This does bait out our negate, unfortunately, but I don't think he really cares. He does have the Magician's Soul, actually, so he was waiting for it. Well, color me surprised, bucko. He goes for the Dark Magician Girl dump. Special summoning the Magician's Souls. That's very interesting. Before he gets to activate anything here, we're just going to punishment this with an Entis, activating Entis to get rid of the souls. That's probably the best play we have. Okay, he doesn't seem to do anything off of that. That's perfect. He goes immediately for the Eternal Soul. Summoning a Dark Magician from hand or graveyard, which I kind of expected. He has the Dark Magician in hand, which is going to trigger Circle to get rid of one card on the field. He does go for the Fleur-de-Lis here. I think that is the correct choice. Alright, Fleur-de-Lis goes bye-bye, but we don't really care. We're going to go for the Eldlich effect, pitching Conquistador, getting rid of Eternal Soul. Impermanence does nothing. Eldlich is in the graveyard. Okay, well, yeah, that triggers that. He does negate the face down there, but we don't really care. We're getting rid of it. So we're going to do that. We're going to bring out Eldlich, the Golden Boy. We're going to get the trigger effect of Cursed Eldland here to send a card. We're going to send a Hakero, I think. It has to be in defense position for this one, unfortunately, so it's not really useful to us. So we're just going to go in for the 5,000 damage here, I think. Bonk him in the head for 5k. And let's see what the last card of the game he draws is going to be. Also, during the end phase, of course, we're going to trigger both Conquistador and we're going to trigger Hakero, which is going to set us an Elixir of White and a Elixir of Scarlet Sanguini. For the last card he draws, it is Magician's Salvation, letting him set an Eternal Soul, which is actually really problematic for us in this very particular circumstance. Ooh, that sucks. Okay. Because he's now going to flip this. Ooh. I don't know if that's worth it anymore. I think I'm going to have to trigger this now, because we need to bring out the second Eldlich here, because we know he's going to go for that. Alright, I'm assuming he's gonna fire this, like, right away. Yep. Doesn't shock me. That brings out the Dark Magician, which triggers the circle. And he gets to banish one of our Eldliches. He also gets to special summon a Dark Magician girl, I believe, because of Magician's Salvation, which is a really good support card for Dark Magicians, actually. We don't really have an option here. He banishes the Eldlich like we kind of expected. He summons the Dark Magician girl. At this point, we're going to Torrential Tribute. Of course, this doesn't get destroyed, but that is perfectly fine by us. We have a white Destiny sitting, which we don't care about. We're going to do this. We're going to set Conquistador. The problem here is the Eternal Soul. We're going to go for Eldlich. We're going to get rid of the white Destiny. We're going to special summon a zombie, of course. We're going to summon the Eldlich himself. Banish this card, set a golden land. Yes, we're going to do that. We're going to set the Hakero as well so we can get rid of this Dark Magician, stopping him from looping it, hopefully. Going for the battle phase, going over the Dark Magician. It is destroyed. We'll go main phase 2. We will end. Then when he attempts to activate Eternal Soul here, we're just going to hit it with the Hakero. We're going to go Hakero. Going to activate Hakero's effect. We're going to get the Dark Magician out of there. He no longer has a target, and that is most likely the end of the game. He goes for the Magician's Souls. Ooh. Good card, dumping another Dark Magician here, which will allow him to survive a turn, or so he thinks. In case he didn't read Conquistador, which I'm assuming he did not. He sends that to the graveyard to special summon the Dark Magician. Ooh, that actually does trigger it. That is unfortunate. We're actually going to have to get rid of this, I think. He's going for the back row. What was your thinking here? We're going to go and activate this. We're going to destroy the Eternal Soul. So now he's going to special summon this, and then Eternal Soul has been destroyed, and that wipes his board. I don't know what you were thinking there. If you had actually targeted the Eldlich, that would have made way more sense. But, yep. We do manage to out-control another game using the Eldlich engine. Who would have shocked? Let's go for the last deck of this episode to see just how that performs. So for deck number 3 up for grabs, we have Drytron. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying that either, I'm gonna be honest with you. Our Drytron deck is incredibly different from what you would normally play in Drytron, though, because our Drytron core is very, very limited, but the deck is just powerful enough to warrant its place anyway, because it's still Drytron. Let's have a quick look through the list, shall we, so you get a small understanding as to how and why we're playing it the way we are. We have the Dragoon package with Dark Magician, Red Eyes Spike Dragon, and a Red Eyes Fusion, along with our Predapine Verte Anaconda, of course. It's kind of the best thing we can do for an additional card for this deck, because DPE doesn't do what we want it to do, and of course Dragoon himself. We then only have one copy of Diviner of the Herald, which is super unfortunate, but it is a good card. It needs to be in this deck. We're then playing one of Green Light, Orange Light, Purple Light, because they are search targets for Eva. We can only play one Eva now that it's been limited, and we don't have 3 Herald of the Orange Light. But it doesn't matter, because the only, when you search with Eva, they have to be separate names. And during our combo, we're going to summon our one copy of Diviner regardless. This means we need 3 separate names in the deck in order to search. So I just decided to run one of each to make sure we have search targets. Then the Quifri has 3 Alpha, 2 Delta, 2 Gamma, 3 Zeta. Very basic setup. No one ever runs Beta because Beta is bad. And of course, the one aforementioned Eva. We also have 6 ritual monsters in the deck. Drytron Meteonis Draconids is simply put a send to graveyard with a 4k booty that can't be targeted with monster effects. It's big, it wins games. We then have Meteonis Corantids, which is the same thing, you can't target it with spell or trap effects, and once per turn, total levels of monsters, blah 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 blah, you can destroy all spells and traps our opponent controls. It's basically back row removal. We then run the Herald of Ultimateness, because it's Herald. We also run a Math Factor Pain, the Imagination Draco Overlord. This card is absolutely fucking insane. Negate the effects of all fusion, synchro, and exceed monsters while they're up on the field. That's it. Also, if this is Ritual Summoned, our opponent skips their next main phase 1. They skip their next main phase 1. This is also searchable off of a bunch of cards, like Preparation of Rites, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, never mind. But it's still there. If we can search it off of Arclight, I believe. Arclight is just add a ritual monster. Yeah, so off of Arclight, we can get a more factor pain. It's fucking ridiculous. We're then running Suarvis. Suarvis, we're never going to actually summon. This is a hand trap. We can discard this card to negate the activation of a card that targets a monster we control. It's situational, but it's a hand trap in a deck that wants to do hand traps. It's also on other targets for all of our Drytrons, meaning it's actually kind of useful. And then, of course, Ben 10, because Ben 10 is the reason this deck works. 3 Cyber Emergency, 3 Drytron Nova, 2 Preparation of Rites, the aforementioned Red Eyes Fusion, Terraforming, 1 Triple Tactics Talent, the only one we own, 1 Called by the Grave, because this, of all decks, is the weakest one to being hit by hand traps, 3 Drytron Fafnir, this just really searches as Nova, and then 2 Meteonis Drytron to do our ritual shenanigans. Extra deck is Dark Dragoon. Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon, is kind of just here. We can summon him very, 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 very rarely, but he's there. Herald of the Arclight, this is the target for our Diviner of the Herald. 1 Zeus, 1 Beatrice, as part of the combo of sending Eva, 1 Downward Magician to be an extra material to Zeus. We have 1 Mubeta Fafnir, the only one we have, so if that play dies, we're dead. We also run 1 Kaganishi Fuko and 1 Lerlusk Assembled Nightingale, because these are the easiest way we have of going into Zeus. We then have Apollousa, Unicorn, Herald of Mirage Lights, Verti Anaconda, Linkaribo, and Relinquished Anima. It's not a perfect Drytron list by any means, but it is a Drytron list that kind of functions. We're going to give this 3 games as well and see how well I can hold myself to those words. Alright, of course when we swap to the deck that is the most reliant on going first, we're forced to go second, and we're going to go up against fucking Sword Soul. I hate this deck. Sword Soul is so much pain and torture on my mind. Regardless, though, we're gonna see how we can hold up against it, because we are guaranteed to run up against at least one Sword Soul deck in the Lupine Weekly, or not Lupine Weekly, Dragoon Cup, whatever. It's gonna happen. Our starting hand is actually pretty good, though. We're having both Alpha to Ban, Zeta in hand. We have Cyber Emergency. Xixiao is actually really not a problem for us, because all of the negates in Sword Soul kind of deal with monsters on field, and these guys activate in the graveyard or in hand. Meaning, generally speaking, we should be fine. Because even if he makes the, what's it called? Even if he makes, what on earth is it called? Baroness, it's 1 negate, and I think we can play through that with all of the searchers we have available to us. We're gonna see, though. He is going for the double monk, probably going into shaman to special summon back something. Going for the Adhara, which is going to pick back up the other Tenyi Spirit, probably having Xixiao in hand. Oh, not Xixiao, Long Yuan. He has the emergence to search the Long Yuan. Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. He's going for Protoss. Protoss kills us. Straight up. Protoss just ends the game. That's really bad. We cannot play through Protoss. We're playing Drytron. If we get Protoss here, we just lose. He doesn't have enough materials to do anything about it, though, which is really good. So we'll activate the Fafnir. We're going to add a Drytron Spell Trap. We're going to add Meteonis, just in case. We're going to go for the Drytron Nova here. Nova special summoning the Gamma El Talon. We need it in rotation, basically. He can choose to negate this if he wishes. I don't think he does. We're gonna go for the Alpha Thuban here, getting rid of the Gamma El Talon. Special summoning the Alpha Thuban, adding a ritual monster, and now it becomes really difficult. If we go for a more factor pain, we kind of lock him out of doing anything, but our combo just dies. If we go for the Meteonis Draconids, we can kind of get rid of a lot of things, and this can't be targeted by monster effects, so we kind of avoid his negates as well, but it doesn't really do what we need it to do. And Benten gets us to where we need to go. Man, this is not a great time. I think we still aim to go for the Benten here. It's kind of a weird thing we have to do, but I think that's the best way we can do it. We'll go for the Ben 10. We'll see if he has anything to get rid of the Ben 10 once we do it, but I somewhat doubt it. We can also clear his entire board here if we manage to get into Zeus, which is probably the best option we have, but we're going to fire the Cyber Emergency as well. Just to really hammer in that we have everything. We're going to search Delta Alteus. Delta being probably the best way to get us into an additional card here. He can't negate ritual spells, which is really good for us, but that doesn't really matter currently. We're gonna go for the Delta. We're gonna go get rid of Alpha for the Delta to reveal the Meteorus Drytron. We search to draw a card. We draw into the third Fafnir. That's not good. That really sucks. Okay, we're gonna go for the Gamma here. We're gonna pitch the Ben 10. We're gonna go for the combo, see if he stops it. We do get it. We're gonna special summon the Alpha back. We're gonna activate Ben 10 in the graveyard. We're going to grab ourselves the Diviner of the Herald. The real question comes now in if he chooses to negate the Diviner, because now we're sitting at a crossroads, basically. If he negates the Diviner, that would suck, but it's not the end of the world for us. Let's go for the Diviner. See what he does. He does not. That's very interesting. We'll pitch the Herald. Activate Herald. We are going to grab ourselves... I think we almost have to go for a Morphactor Pain, and that is really bad. But that does negate the Jijao completely, whereas Draconids kind of doesn't. All special summon monster opponent controls once each. During each opponent's turn, you can banish monsters from your graveyard whose combined attack equals exactly 2,400, then target a face-up card for every 2,000 of the total. Send that card to the graveyard. This is just bad, but I think we're searching Draconids. You are going to go against me and go say, wait, what the fuck are you doing? There's a point to what I'm trying to do here. He can't negate Meteorus Drytron. We are just going to fire this now to get Draconids on the board. We are going to summon Draconids, and we're going to use the Zeta in hand and the Gamma on field to do so. No, we're not going to activate Fafnir. It doesn't do us anything here. We're going to go for the Big Chungus. At this point, we're going to activate Meteorus Drytron. We're going to target this. Nice. At this point, we do have the availability to actually synchro into Chaos Ruler, but that would be silly. I don't know here. This is real bad. There's so much thinking involved in this particular line of play that I don't enjoy. We're gonna go Mubeta Fafnir. We are not gonna activate the effect of Mubeta, though. Because that triggers Jijao, and we don't want to do that if we can help it. So we're just not gonna. He's gonna go for it anyway. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of expected, I guess. Jijao targeting the Mubeta Fafnir, meaning our lives are now kind of ruined. But not so ruined as he thinks they are, because we're gonna choose to go straight for the Verte here. We're gonna activate Verte, copy a polymerization spell, we're gonna go for the Red Eyes, baby. If he has something for it, he has something for it. He has the Impermanence here, that makes perfect sense to me. We are unfortunately unable to do anything else on that board, which really sucks. We're just gonna go battle. We're gonna fight over the Jijao. He's gonna go for the Droplet. That sucks. That's the one card that outed us here, was a Droplet. That's super unfortunate. Super unfortunate. That was the one punish that we had. Oh! Yeah, that's really unfortunate. If he didn't have Imperm and Droplet there, we had that easily. Man, that is just unfortunate. Drawing 3 Fafnir is kind of depressing as well. We have them there just because we have so few search spells in the deck. But, man, that's really unfortunate. I don't think we have a way out of this one now. We can Fafnir for something, but I think he just downright kills us. That was our, yeah, that was our one play. Super unfortunate. That was like really up to who was going first there, but we'll go for another one. Drytron still has a chance to prove themselves. Alright, up against the Stealth Duelist again. We were up against him earlier. He's probably playing the same thing. Yep, here he is. Pain. Well, unfortunately, our hand is yet again opening 2 Fafnir, which I find to be incredible, because this very rarely happens. It's 3 cards and 40 whatever. It's an Eldlich control. Oh, no, it's my Akashi control, right. So, we're probably not getting through this one. Normaling Eva, are you kidding me? Okay, we'll go for the Fafnir. We're getting a Reincarnation's really good here. It banishes most of our available things, though, but that is fine. Go for the Nova. What do we get rid of here? We get rid of the combo piece, but that doesn't necessarily matter too much. I think against this particular matchup, we're just going to fire Red Eyes. He does not negate it. I think this is the best play we have. We just sit on this. We have a full hand of 5 for the next turn as well, and a negate, which I don't think he plays through very well. I think that's what we have to do. Going for the 3k Big Bop. Because we don't care about throwing a lot of cards away here. We are fine on sitting on Daddy Dragoon. We also have an entire hand of Playmakers for the next turn, so I think we can still pop off. Even if he manages to take down the Dragoon. Pot of Duality is fine. It's Trickstar. Okay, so he is in fact playing the burn bullshit. Alright, dude. Going for another reincarnation here. I would negate that, honestly, if he's just gonna pass on it. If he just passes on that, I am gonna hit the reincarnation when he fires it. Because it's obvious he's gonna. Alright, he doesn't. Very interesting. We'll go for the Nova. Nova is just a very, very good card here. This is going to search us Delta, probably. Delta, or no, Alpha is going to summon itself off of Delta. So we'll search the Delta. There it is. We're going to Alpha through ban, pitching this to activate Alpha. Alpha comes out. We can search a Ritual. We don't have that many left. We're just going to search Suarvis, I guess. Because again, we don't really have a lot of them remaining. We're going to activate Delta, pitching the Herald of Ultimateness from hand, because we don't need it. We're going to do this. We're going to reveal the Meteonis. That draws a Cyber Emergency, which is a good card normally, but in this particular instance doesn't really do much. We're going to make the Mubeta, or whatever his face is, Mubeta Fafnir. This probably gets striked. It does not. Let's just activate Mubeta Fafnir, see if he strikes it. He does. That's fine. Strike on that basically means that we now have to go for the Gamma Eltalan, pitching the Gamma. Which is just going to special summon back the Delta. And then we make anything that deals damage. Literally any card in our entire deck that has a little bit of damage on it. I guess we go for Herald of Mirage Lights, because it is enough for lethal. 600 is enough. That's hilarious. Going for the Imperm. I'm not planning on doing it. You are fine to Imperm it, bucko. We're just going to go straight to battle. He has 3,500 life points remaining. Going for the Reincarnation. I just don't like him. Whatever. Get out of here. Called by the Grave. Sure. You were not going to stand a chance up against the Dragoon here, bucko. We'll just go battle. And that's it. Nice. Drytron take a game. I'm not surprised. When Drytron goes off, they go off. Final game for Drytron. Let's see how it looks. I like that this guy is named Substep, because that means he plays Subtlety Rogue, and that is the best kind of rogue. We have opened a hand of Drytron. It is most certainly a hand of Drytron, and we're going up against... Oh, Dynamorphia. These guys are not released yet. Stop playing them. They're not real. They're fake news. I hate it. Stop it. Get some help. The only one we don't have in hand is Alpha, unfortunately, and that's the one we really need. Lord of the Heavenly Prison, protecting his back row. Sure, I'm not planning on destroying it, I'll be perfectly honest with you, Chief. Pay half, fusion summon a Dynamorphia. Yep, I know how this works. Oh my god, a second Zeta. Okay, we're just gonna summon Zeta. We're gonna pitch Delta. We have a hand of Drytron. It might get playable, but with all that back row, I severely doubt it. He does go for the Dimorphia Domain. Which means he's going to fusion summon that weird Bernie one, probably. Diplos and Theresia, making, there it is, the I can't pronounce that, Kent Regina? Kent Regina. Alright, we're gonna add Meteonis Drytron for sure. It does have 0 attack here because his life point's not that low yet. Doesn't really matter though, because yeah, Lord of the Heavenly Prison is gonna trigger. He's gonna get to set 1 here. This is super good Dragoon fodder, but there is no way in goddamn hell we're getting to trigger Dragoon on this board. Okay, setting the Pot of Extravagance. He wants to refill his hand. That's very interesting. We're gonna go for the Delta. We're gonna be pitching the Gamma. Okay, we do get the Delta. We're gonna reveal the Meteor's Drytron to draw a card. We draw Red Ice Black Dragon. That ain't the one, Chief. That ain't the one. Right, we have a Gamma we can trigger here. Going for the Dimorphia Brute. So he's gonna destroy a Dynamorphia and a card we control, which I assume is fine. It's not the end of the world, it just kind of sucks. Brute's going to be triggered, he's going to bring out Diplos. Diplos, of course, is going to send a Dynamorphia card from the deck to the graveyard, so he has another negate now sitting, plus his 2 unknown back row and Kent Regina. This is going to be a hard one. Okay. We do have the Gamma activation here, we're going to fire it. Because we kind of have to at this point. We're going to go for Gamma. We're going to bring out a Zeta again. Doesn't really matter unless he blows us all up. He doesn't. We're going to go for the Mu Beta. We're going to activate it, and we're going to attempt to send an Alpha. We do get to. That's amazing. Okay, go for the Alpha. Activate the Alpha effect, pitching the fucking Delta. Going for the Alpha, activating Alpha, getting us into... I don't know at this point. This is really bad. Meteor's Corantids is just really good, I think. Yeah, I think... no, it's no longer revealed, so they're not protected anymore. Yeah, so we can actually blow all of this up. We're gonna go Corantids. Weirdest one available, but I think Corantids is the correct option. Because now we're going to fire Meteor's Drytron. We're gonna go for the Corantids. We're gonna do the 2 attached cards. Going into Corantids. It's also unaffected by other cards. We're gonna activate it, which is going to blow up his back row here. Everything goes bye-bye. He does have an Ice Dragon's Prison and a Sonic. That's ooh. We're gonna target this, get our card back. We have to build a board. That's the biggest one I think we can make, which is really bad for us. Dragoon is an option. I think Dragoon is the option. Yeah, I think Dragoon is the option. Because right now we can just punch over Kentarina here, but I don't think we need to. We're just going to go for the Red Ice Fusion. Which does give us the man. And that should end the game. Yes! Playing through Dynamorphia is like walking a fucking landmine. I hate it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think this proves enough what Drytron can do. Oh, man. Alright then, Drytron. What do we think? To be honest, this deck is really, really good. There's a lot of things that can, like, stop us dead in our tracks. There's also quite a few bricks that we can get. But other than that, we have so many ways of starting our plays. We literally have 3 Cyber Emergency, 3 Nova, 3 Fafnir, letting us essentially get a Drytron into the field no matter how we go about it. We also have a Terraforming, so that's 10 copies right there. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Drytrons, that's 20. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Rituals. It's basically 30, not 36, it'd be 26 plus 2 Prep of Rites. I mean, we have a lot of ways to start. That's all I'm saying here. Unfortunately, we are still very weak to hand traps. We have no way of really fighting around it unless we draw the One of Called By, which can happen, but it's rare, I guess. The extra deck also could use some work on this one, especially we could need more than 1 Diviner. 1 Diviner is really risky. If that gets hit, we can't do our full combo, and we have to end differently than what we'd want to. Regardless of that, though, the deck is really, really good. And it also uses very few of our generic resources, which is why I think this one is a definite must for the Dragoon Cup. However, we still have 3 more decks to try out, but this is the end of this episode. Surprise, motherfuckers, this is a 2-parter because testing decks takes a long time. So, if you enjoyed this episode and you would like to see the last 2 decks being tested before the Dragoon Cup, do remember to tune in next week when you get episode 26, part 2, I guess, which is deck testing Boogaloo, whatever. As always, if you enjoyed the content, remember to subscribe. My numbers are going down. Help them go back up again before Season 3. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my Patreon, whatever. I'll see you guys next week. Stay safe out there.